You're not Allan.
Yep, I am about to change that right about now.
Where's Kush? How are you? Miss Wen?
I'm okay. Wow, your backdrop very nice. Huh? Change mange. Huh?
Want to play not my piano there?
Wait, let me just set up all the line things that needs to be set up. Just give me 1 second.
Hey,
Gosh,
sorry, when the slides how your control is it?
Yeah, sort of. So wait, give me 1 second to adjust my live, then I will let you know.
Okay.
Let me just have a look.
Sure.
I don't really want to talk about Beyond 99 in such detail. I just want to go to the...
I think for mine also the intro, right? Just use the first slide lah. No need to use all the rest because Tree was asking about the company background stuff, so don't need to talk so much.
Yeah, because no point,
Yeah. I agree.
I agree, no need so much conversation going on around those things because it will bore the people. No, we want to talk straight about LinkedIn, ma.
Yep.
So we wait for Kush to come in. We tell her that, okay, so why don't we agree to do the content in such a way that why don't I let you all control the slides then?
Means we need to share screen, is it?
Yeah, can you?
Can.
Can, huh? Wait, let me just live this to Facebook.
Need to try it out.
How have you been?
Okay, not too bad. Getting my life back on track, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How are you? Busy, yeah?
Yeah, very crazy ass busy. But
Sounds like deja vu last year.
right? Nothing's changed, right? Kind of feels like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, let me just title the Zoom and then the Zoom call. Let me see. Wait. It's current, there's only 2 of us. Because we are early, we are 8 minutes early. Okay, so let's get started. It's 2:29. And hey guys, thank you so much for joining our session today. Today with me are 2 of my pretty nice good friends, Allan as well as Kush. So Allan, I know him since, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, this is a funny and interesting story. Allan and I met on Tinder, Bumble. Was it Tinder or Bumble? Yeah.
Oh, no, Coffee Meets Bagel.
See, Allan and I met each other at Coffee Meets Bagel. And then, but I already know who is he. He doesn't know who I am. He's like super famous from the Asia esports team. And then like, it's like, wow, you know. So I already knew who he was. But then that we didn't really become friends there. But then we became friends on Facebook and then through other, I think that time he won't reject me. So through other means, right, I managed to get to become finally friends with Allan. And today I managed to get him to join us for the session. So Kush and I met, I think, speaking engagement at the Common Ground, right? In last 2 years ago. Correct. I remember you guys gave me a Pokong medal with the Mahathir face. Oh my God, thank you so much. It's still in my office. So the 2 of you are, how big are your, just to give our audience a little bit of a gauge, like how big are you on LinkedIn?
Kush, go ahead.
How do you define big? Now that's a very good question. I have known people who have more than 200,000 followers, but if they push it out, there's no content engagement that happens.
Right.
So it's not about numbers on LinkedIn at all. And I do believe that there is a strong conception that you must go for more and more followers. But even you are quite popular on Instagram. You're running an agency where it's all about influencers. And I think you understand that the number games are something which no more plays any value. It's about the engagement rate.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I really don't consider the number anywhere a significance of someone that they
Right.
they are impactfully doing well on a platform.
Right. Well, yeah, but I just wanted to give them a gauge. Actually, I was going to do a follow-up after that and talk about, your content and how do you keep them engaged. But okay, you already helped me to go to the next level. So tell me how do you engage your audience on LinkedIn? Like, what's the best way? Like your number one tip, since the first 10 of you that came in got the secret tip. So what is the main tip, for keeping the engagement going?
So that one's for Allan or for me? I mean, that's
Both?
Allan, you want to go first or?
No, go ahead, Kush.
Okay. I think one of the most, so I've classified it very clearly now on LinkedIn. Most of the people are there for community, network, followed by branding and lead generation. It's a world full of professionals. So some of the very important strategies is to not connect with anybody and everybody on the platform, because it's your connection who defines at the end of the day whether your content will get any kind of engagement or not. And there's a very big myth that LinkedIn is just a jobs platform. So at least that myth is something I'm sure all three of us can break after today's session.
Yes.
That it's long gone are the days when LinkedIn was all about jobs.
Yeah.
One of the very good tip that I can give for people who are content curators, because I know your platform is about content curators. They might be thinking that LinkedIn is all about professionals and we are influencers who are probably talking about fitness or food or beauty, or I mean, these are top categories on Instagram. I'm not trying to subject it, but I'm just saying these from agency point of view, because I'm running a marketing agency. I understand Instagrammers come from that background, YouTubers come from that background. So let me tell you, I have some great connections with fitness coach, dietitians, with people who help us stay beautiful, which is brand consultants on LinkedIn as well. It's
Right.
it's all about how you present yourself. And if you are able to gauge attention with the kind of content that you're curating, with the correct call to action. So LinkedIn has to have a call to action. And the call to action is very simple. Like in YouTube, you tell people like, share, and comment my videos in YouTube. In LinkedIn, you end up with a thought-provoking question where people can come and comment on your post. Would you agree to my POV, or is it something that resonates with you? What's your mindset status on a Monday, and how do you actually recalibrate it when it's not in the right place? So, I mean, just these kind of questions when you're posting something and ending it with that helps a lot to increase your engagement rates on LinkedIn as a platform.
Right. So if I can summarize it for you, it means that LinkedIn is a platform where people have to kind of put in a little bit more thought, like deep thinking about a comment or an opinion. And they wouldn't necessarily want to put an opinion, like, oh, great content. Like they really should put a really good thought provoking, yes, this is what I would do. On top of that, I'm going to do something like this also. So it's something that forces people to learn and at a different level compared to the other platforms. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So let's say, for example, I would say 5 things I definitely don't miss to do every single morning. What is or that one thing?
Right. So you will then add on to it.
Correct. I'm teaching, but at the same time, I'm empowering them and putting out a mindset that I'm also wanting to know what are your to-dos in the morning that you don't miss. So that's engagement strategy. And storytelling, guys, not to miss. I really have to add. So storytelling.
Okay, we'll get back to that. Allan, why don't you tell us one tip of how you keep your audience engaged on your LinkedIn?
For me, I share a lot about esports news, and whatever latest news I get at whatever time, I just push it out. And those who are interested to follow about esports, they kind of like read the content that I have. I agree with Kush that you need to engage your audience by asking thought-provoking questions and get people to participate. There's no right, no wrong. It's like a discussion in a professional manner. Yeah. So for me, it's about pushing out esports content more towards that niche.
Okay, cool. So now we have some people on the platform already. For those of you who are watching us on Facebook, we'd really appreciate if you can come on to the Zoom session, because that's where you can ask real-time questions and you can participate in our polls and everything. I'm just going to launch a poll real quick so that we can know a little bit more about our attendees, to know what are you guys here for, what are you trying to learn more about. So I'm just going to launch this one poll. What do you want to learn from this webinar, so that, you know, Allan, Kush, and myself could on the fly think of some of the more relevant information to pass down to you guys. So if you can help us to answer these questions, this question would be great. What do you want to learn from this webinar? Okay, as I continue on, Kush and Allan, maybe I start with Allan, okay? How about, Allan, you tell us, like, what kind of content have you been doing on LinkedIn so far? And which one is the most challenging for you?
Oh, can I share screen?
Sure, of course, please do.
Okay, need to
Ooh.
get a host to enable. Sorry.
Okay, 1 second. I am
Cool.
going to. Okay, I'm going to make you the host,
Cool.
and then you will share. You will then be able to share your screen. So before I
All good.
proceed, so far we've got 5 votes out of the 13. The rest of you, come on, press away. Okay, so we have people who want to upgrade LinkedIn for influencer career. As an influencer, you want to upgrade your LinkedIn. Well done. Thank you for stepping up to want to do something different. And they want tips to create credible LinkedIn profile. That's great as well. So we'll get to talk about more LinkedIn profile type things. We'll talk about upgrading your LinkedIn. Okay, I'm going to pass the baton over to Allan in 2 seconds. Okay, Allan, on to you.
All right. Hang on, guys. Sharing screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, just a quick introduction about me. I'm now doing esports industry, handling marketing and PR at Evolve Esports. And previously, I was 7 years at AirAsia and 10 years doing my own small little business in the paintball world. Been flying around the world to share about esports in general, and also thanks to LinkedIn, people got to know about me and invite me for those conferences, etc. And my case study was highlighted in the World Federation of Advertisers as well. So about LinkedIn, a quick one from me. LinkedIn now has about 700 over million users, whereby 300 over million of them are active users. And I just saw the report today that 0.5% are actively posting content on a weekly basis. Imagine that. Wow. 0.5%. Yeah, so according to like Gary Vee, is like Facebook 5 years ago. You know, whatever content you post will get a lot of high amount of reach and very organic. So I feel that those of you influencers, KOLs who are not on LinkedIn yet, please do so. That's where all your potential customers are, decision makers in a company. Like lead generation, easily 2.74% increase, either B2B or B2C inquiries compared to Facebook and Twitter. I won't go through all this. You have to go to Google later and find out all this information.
Yeah.
1 to 17 are the stuff that you need to do to complete your LinkedIn profile, so that it's searchable on Google as well when people search for your name. Yeah. Complete all this is a life hack per se for LinkedIn. And then for me, just to share 1 or 2 contents that I did, which had a lot of good engagement, mostly career stuff, you know. LinkedIn kind of pushes it, the algorithm. So when I left AirAsia, the views was over 29,000 on my post, 100 over comments, 370 engagement. All this is organic, yeah. I didn't do any boosting, posting, whatever. And when I joined EVOS, it doubled up to 53,000 views, 200 over comments, 800 over plus engagement. And I helped some of my ex-colleagues in Asia when they got retrenched, and over 60,000 views when I shared the marketing interactive posts and 400 engagement. And also I do content for people because they're related to my industry. So this was Evelyn Tan. She's doing a PhD in video games, industrial related. It's kind of inspirational, and it garnered over 12,000 views, 100 over engagements as well. So there's a lot of things that I'll share later. So yeah, it's some of the content you can do in general.
Okay. So you do a lot of sharing of credible content then, I would say, because you share
That's
article
right.
from Marketing Interactive, and then you share things that are relevant to yourself, that is personal, right? And things that you are interested in, like something that's in the industry, like the one you shared for Evelyn Tan, right?
Yep.
So, and you also have, oh my God, yes, I remember now, you're the guy that helped build that spreadsheet that helped all the AirAsia impacted people to find jobs. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Allan. You must have blessed so many people without even realizing what you've done.
I hope so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And
Kush,
then
okay, go on. Sorry.
yeah, I think Kush can share also like inspirational posts and other type of content, text format as well. Yeah. Over
Yeah,
to Kush.
yeah, Kush. Why don't you tell us what kind of contents you've been doing and what do you find most challenging so far?
I think, first of all, Allan, wonderful work there. You know, I have always appreciated your work. So there's no second thoughts on that. I've loved the sheet as well for the AirAsia side that you did it. And so on, when coming back on the LinkedIn side of it, I would say some of the top performing content type is where you position yourself as a normal human being, put out your story, put out yourself for people in terms of who you are on the inside and outside. So there has been a lot of myth about please only talk about your work stuff. Like, let's say, for example, because I'm running a marketing company and as well as a growth hub growth hub company. So both are more towards either doing marketing campaigns or teaching people how exactly can LinkedIn and sales help them to elevate their businesses and individuals. But talking about them or talking about it makes us too self-centered, and then that reduces the interest of the audience. But instead, if we reverse the mechanism and start adding value, true value to people, then that's where the engagement comes in. I'm happy that Allan could show some of his work. I would also love to just show you guys how exactly you can go all out, put your story and get and garner attention from the people. All of it super organic. Wait a second. I think, okay, Allan, thanks for that one.
Made you the host. What happened to your finger, Kush?
Oh, I'm trying to hide that as much as possible. Okay, for that is because I hurted my finger real bad. Let's just say that.
No.
And yeah, so I had to had this proper thing done because unless I do it, it'll not. Okay, guys, you need to tell me, what do you see on the screen? Is it because
We
I have?
see you, your LinkedIn account. We love it.
Okay, superb. Because I had a multiple browser opened up, so indeed. So
Okay.
this is my LinkedIn account. I can talk about the profile side of it, but since we're talking about the post, I would just bring some attention. So let's just, if I just scroll down and I'm going to just show you one post or two posts, which I just did one post yesterday night. So it's been around 12 hours and it was night. So one can even understand that 8 hours, we almost get no engagement on LinkedIn, which is 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock almost. And this is the organic reach. Since yesterday, I got 200 plus likes, 43 comments, in which there is only 3 comments from my side. So I have not responded to people as yet. And we've got close to 2,800 views. In not even 18 hours it's showing, because yeah, it's been approximately, I posted at 11 o'clock midnight yesterday. And let's talk about this. You can talk about, see, I come from tech and marketing background. And this got me 11,000 views, 400 plus likes. Now, these are some content that you can post. Now, since I was counted among one of the successful people in Malaysia, and I wrote a simple story about it, that hard work never goes in vain. And that is something which I strongly believe. I wouldn't say it's only the photograph, but when the story gets associated, where you put yourself as a real person, that who you are, it got us 70,000 views.
Wow.
With 1,600 plus likes to 200, and followed by just another post when I was recognized as a global youth leader in the top 100. This has nothing to do with the entire award. This has the story, that how did I want it and why it was so important for me. Yeah. And it got about 67,000 views, followed by 1,200. So it's not about, okay, one more I have to show, 1 second. This is being at fuck up. So I literally shared my fuck up story, the story which which I messed up in my own life, and something that I would love to share and help people to not do what I did. And that garnered these kind of attentions, which is 12,000 plus views and 300, close to 400 likes, followed by comments, 55. And all of these things, when you share how your life has been for you, whether your achievements, whether your failures, or your knowledge, and at the same time, when you celebrate someone, is some of the top topics that works phenomenally well on LinkedIn. And each one of them, if you can associate it with a story, what happened, how you got there, why you got there, and what exactly was the, what was the villain of the story, is very important. You have to, everything cannot be icing on the cake and super nice and beautiful. You have to put that villain and then say how exactly you came out of that situation. And that will help one go out of the way and notice your story and just help you go viral among. Okay, so just for one stats, LinkedIn has a group, all the Fortune 500 companies. So by default, you can understand the power of the platform. But at the same time, the audiences on LinkedIn is believed to have the highest paying power as compared to any other social media platform across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So as influencers, B2B market, which is the biggest for LinkedIn, is getting and stepping into that particular genre. Now, let's say, for example, if people are getting into esports, right? Anybody would want Allan to be their influencer because
Yeah.
Allan comes from esports background. He understands the industry very well. And if someone is releasing a product which is related to esports, they would definitely want Allan to review it and share a video about it and maybe be in the cast of that. And that will add a lot of value for that market. So exactly the same thing for all the influencers who are connected with SushiVid and even outside. If you're thinking there's no potential, is if there's any one single product in the market which you think your endorsements and your connections can add value to the network, this is definitely a space you don't want to miss out on.
Okay, so I have a question that is, I don't think I actually know your answers yet, but I'm going to ask you anyway, okay? So maybe we start with Allan. Allan, can you tell us why did you start getting active on LinkedIn? Like what triggered it, or why and when did you get started?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually had to dig through my emails to see when I registered for LinkedIn. It's back in 2014. Hardly
Wow.
anyone was using it. That was like ages ago.
Yeah.
But I've been reading articles, a lot of it on Forbes, entrepreneur.com, and it's used LinkedIn. So I just started using it, and it kind of blew up after a while, and amassed a following, etc. So yeah, I did it because no one else was doing it, and so somehow that people say, "Oh, Allan, you're like an ambassador of your company." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Employer branding, etc. People tell me they go on a wedding table, and then, "Hey, you're from that same company, Asia. A guy called Allan Phang." I'm like, "Huh?" So it's like so random, right? Because no one else was doing it. Yeah, so it's totally blue ocean. It still is 0.5% of 700 million people post stuff in a week. So yeah, like Kush said, a lot of opportunity for KOLs and influencers to share their success stories, stuff
Mm-hmm.
they did with Sushi Vid. And then
Mm-hmm.
a potential brand manager or marketing manager or director will see, oh wow, this influencer exists, for example. Yeah.
Okay, can I just make a broad assumption that uh, the influencers on LinkedIn are more on a mature side? Can I make that broad assumption at all? Or you feel like, no, they're getting more younger, or like, because there's a market for, let's say, Instagram is all the millennials, and then TikTok is like, oh my goodness, centennials already, right? And then LinkedIn is more for like, us, early 30s, like a different channel for slightly older generation. Can I make that broad assumption or cannot? What do you think?
I'll
Um,
let Allan answer.
yeah, for me, yes and no. Yes, yeah, 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, late 20s above, all on LinkedIn, for example. But the younger ones, the smarter ones, are starting to go on LinkedIn. The ones that don't have
Right.
a job yet, are still in college, university. They're putting their profile up, looking for a job, interning, and will be available for jobs openings.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is a good place to get yourself out in the market out there.
Okay. What about you, Kush? What do you think?
Okay,
Is my assumption correct or incorrect?
Okay, I'll answer this question first before I go to the how did I start on LinkedIn. So I think now I'll tell you, first I'll tell you why you are assuming this is because largest group of people who are there on LinkedIn comes from Gen X group.
Right.
So that age is there more. And that's why the assumption is there. So you are fair to think in that manner. However, where it's transitioning at this point of time, that it's transitioning to anybody who is able to put out his or her opinion in the most righteous and in the most people oriented manner are becoming influencers on the platform. However, age is something which you can say is quite subjective. In terms of acquisition, Gen X, definitely. But in terms of active users, we are seeing more millennials coming on the platform and choosing to be more active. Whereas Gen X are very skeptical because they have always been like that. So they have to change. For Gen Z, they don't have to change. They just have to be themselves. That's all.
Okay, so there is this part where you can post an article on LinkedIn and versus you post an article on your blog and then you share it as a post on LinkedIn. Can you walk us through, this is a personal question, sorry guys, but I want to know because I try posting stuff on LinkedIn as an article and I try posting on my blog and I still don't see the difference. Maybe I don't have a lot of followers. Why don't you tell us the big impact? What do you think is more effective for you in terms of like LinkedIn? Like this is the objective is to boost my LinkedIn profile. Okay, whether I should post my blog on my blog and then post it up as a post, or should I post an article straight on LinkedIn? What do you think?
Okay, now this is a wonderful question. I don't know, the timing is just so perfect. Let me just share screen today. I prepared something which was just done today only because this was the same question.
This is giving me goosebumps, because I really didn't, I mean, it just came to my head to ask.
You won't believe this is a screenshot. I can actually literally show you. I took the screenshot today morning. And if you go to my activity, okay, that will be a lot more easier because I'll just go to my activity. So it will show you how recent it is. So I'm just going to my LinkedIn. There's a friend of mine who posted on LinkedIn, and he was talking about the links side of it on LinkedIn as a platform. So give me a second. So all activities, the section on LinkedIn, just for everyone, if you know it, it's great, is to show you what you have been doing on the platform. So just today morning, oh my God, where is it? Okay, yes, here it goes. So a friend of mine, Akmal, he's always traveling between 1 minute.
Looks like we all got to go and add Akmal later because Akmal sounds like a credible source for LinkedIn information. Guys, follow this Akmal.
Actually, he's more on the corporate side, but he just keeps updating. So he just posted a thing on LinkedIn and I shared this with him today morning. So it is just a wonderful timing. So Nadia is from Malaysia and she was part of our LinkedIn workshop. Now what happened is that she had the same question. She posted on a blog and she took the blog link and created the post on LinkedIn. Okay. And that got 185 views. What she did is she took the same content and she created a text post on LinkedIn just after 2 days that got her 535 views.
Wow. Okay.
Nothing. She took the same content and she posted the content and connected that with a link in the post comment. So the link is in the comment, not in the post, because LinkedIn somehow doesn't encourage third-party URLs. So if you are creating blogs, then I strongly recommend take the content from the blog, create a teaser post as a caption, and ask people to read more. Check out the link in my first comment and put the link of the blog in the first comment.
Oh, that's a really good tip. Now I know. Okay.
So she did this. Now there comes another phenomenal thing. What she did is she added a visual aid. The topics, she created the designs for them, and that got a 13,000 views.
Wow. Okay, this is new. Wow, thanks for doing this experiment.
So she was part of Killing It on LinkedIn workshop, the LinkedIn
Right.
workshop that we do for beginners. And during the workshop, there's one of the challenge which is about content posting. So when she used to do these kind of posts, this is how she used to do on LinkedIn. But then she picked up these during the program and she said, okay, let me try it. If Khush is even saying something that is worth. And she did it and it worked out wonderful. And this is how it has been for the platform as well. So the algorithms are not set outside by LinkedIn, but when you try it, you know what works, what doesn't work.
Right. Okay. So tell us about this Killing It on LinkedIn course that you have. Oh my goodness, I feel like I need to sign up myself because I've been trying and it hasn't been working, and then you kind of give up. What is this Killing It on LinkedIn? When is your next course so that our attendees can also come and learn and be a LinkedIn influencer?
Sure, why not? I would love to share it. Can I share screen actually?
Yes, of course.
Okay, 1 second. Let me open it. Okay, so I hope you guys see the word Killing It on LinkedIn right now.
Not yet. It's loading.
Okay, is it better right now? It's a red color screen. Do you see?
No. Allan, do you see anything?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me share once again in that case. How about now?
Yes, we do. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, superb. So this is the website and my second venture, which is Salt and Pepper, which is all about helping individuals and businesses with their LinkedIn and sales strategy. So Killing It on LinkedIn is a workshop that requires 4 days, but only in a day you need 1 hour to 2 hours maximum upper limit. So the program is, how do you accelerate your profile on LinkedIn? How do you connections and not go all out accepting all connections? So this is one of the biggest mistakes that you would do on LinkedIn. Create content consistently, but what is that strategy that can help you do this? And finally discover all the tools. So all of these first 3, which is the ABCD framework, is recorded sessions. So every single day, day 1, you receive the recording of Accelerate Your Profile, which takes about 40 minutes of your time to watch anytime. So it's on-demand video. And by the end of the day, I would be coming live on the Facebook group to just answer your questions. Anything and everything to do directly with you. And the same ritual continues for day 2, which is another 40 minutes video you can watch anytime in the next 24 hours. And then again, another video which you can watch. And finally, by the end of the day, I come on live to answer your questions respectfully. Then finally on Sunday, so this happens on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with a cooling period on Saturday. So just relax a little bit. And on Sunday, there's a 3 hours long webinar where I come on Zoom and I'll share lots and lots of hacks and tricks to just fast track your journey. Because you know now what to do, but how do you even get efficient with it? All of this, which is through this, and okay, I forgot to talk about the pricing side of it, right?
It's okay. Take your time.
No worries. And if anybody wants to check out how the program has been, we have more than 600 people have taken this program across 12 different countries in just last 4 months.
Wow.
So all of these, like Dayal is a coach from Singapore, Annalisa is from Malaysia, Christiana is from US, then Abhishek is from India, Anupama is from Dubai. All of these, you can watch some videos which can help you even get a better understanding. And guys, at this point of time only, the program is valued at $21. However, it is valued at 151. And this is just the strike-through pricing which we're offering, because honestly, we did not launch this for any intention of making money, frankly, because we have been doing on the corporate side. Actually, my entire business is corporate. I've never worked with one-to-one individuals and all.
Can you put the link onto the chat so that the users can check it out? And our admin from the Facebook site, could you also please just copy and paste the link over? Thank you very much. We have a question from Farisha. Nadia's post with the visual aid, does she put the link in the comments or does she translate the blog post into the visuals? meaning that the whole post is the entire content with no outside URL.
So
So
as I remember, now I don't remember very clearly, if you put the URL in the comment, there is no down effect.
okay.
So there's no down effect. Your algorithms remain exactly the same. What she did is, in the first one, she put the URL directly in the post. In the second one, she took the text and put the URL in the comment for read more. And in the third one, she created visuals. And I'm not sure if she associated the visuals with the URLs or not, but it doesn't matter. You can do it and you can skip it. Both ways is absolutely fine, and it will not impact on the downsides of your content at all.
Yeah, I just want to chime in also on top of Kush that the reason why if you put links inside your post, you get lower engagement because LinkedIn wants you to stay on their platform and don't want you to click on the link and get out of their platform. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Absolutely. Same as I think Facebook influencers as well, they would know it, because Facebook also kind of reduces the organic reach of the links which are third-party URLs. So same thing. LinkedIn also does the same thing.
Okay, cool. I believe we've answered this question. There is another question from Kamarul Arif to all panelists. LinkedIn is a powerful tool. It's in the chat. Notice if you put anything factual in words, the view is not as much as you post anything related to what you do and the meeting that you had particularly on your business, then the views and likes are much higher. Thinking of promoting the services and experience we have from our business perspective, I believe this will attract more views that will translate to revenue. Do you think this is a wise move? Meaning he's asking if you post anything related to what you do and the meeting that you had, it will translate into more revenue or translated into more views and therefore thereby more revenue. Do you guys agree or not? Or yeah.
Okay, so I'm okay to answer this, but I would also ask Allan, do you want to go first or how?
Sure. Yeah, totally agree that I've noticed posts that revolve around your personal experience kind of garner more engagement and comments as well. I feel compared to just one-off posting factual stuff. But if you post factual stuff, it's okay, but you must kind of like share your own personal views and engage the community and ask them what are your thoughts, for example.
Yep. Okay, Kush?
Okay, so from my side, I'll share two things. One, my own personal story. So I talk about marketing, branding, LinkedIn, and as an entrepreneur, my own journey. So these are 4 topics that I talk about on LinkedIn. And what happens, I have not spent a single penny on acquiring clients through advertising, as we are a boutique agency, and the academy itself, which I mentioned, has more than 600 people who have been in the program. Not even a single person came in through an ad. All of it was organic through one single platform, which is LinkedIn, or word of mouth marketing from the people who had already attended the program. That was the 2 source of traffic that came in. So I'm using these numbers to just highlight the power of the platform there. And we as a business had made a revenue of more than $500,000 in first year of the business, all through getting leads from LinkedIn, which I consistently get every single day on my profile. Wow. Now, so the Kamarul, I think what he has mentioned is absolutely right. If you are posting things which are relevant to your business, it gets you right eyeballs if you're connected with the right people. Now, let's say, for example, I talk about marketing. If I connect with other marketing people, then they will say, yes, I relate with it. But let's say I connect with WordPress developers, or I connect with someone who is coming from engineering background. Now, they don't connect with my content. So that's where your content connection strategy comes in automatically. So Kamarul has connected with people who are relatively very high in terms of his possibility of becoming a client. So that's one of the very good things that he has done with his profile. That's why he's getting a lot of engagement on the content. He's great at, means his own product and service. However, it's always recommended to not be putting out a social profile where you only talk about your business. You can talk about your industry, but when you talk only about your business, it just seems too salesy. And then people start de-following you on the platform. Right. So to maintain a balance is, let's say in a week, keep a ratio of 3 posts and in which you can just finally keep a balance of one related to your own product and service directly. One, you're meeting with a client, which is a real life proof or testimonial that you're working and people are trusting you. And third could be about your industry. Like if you are an FMCG, you share something that has happened in the FMCG market. So these three things together in every week by week puts you out as a leader in the market in that particular space.
Right. Okay. So now let's talk about it from a brand collaboration perspective. How, because it will dilute you, right? Because if just say, for example, Kush, you know, you are a brand, like a story brand person, right? You are a marketing, like a marketing, a boutique marketing company owner, right? Like Allan, you're like an esports kind of a person. You know, people know you for esports, period, right? And Asia. So now my question, if just say a brand wants to come and endorse you, what do you think? Like, you know, just a random, like let's say Panasonic, home appliances wants to work with you. What is the angle that they can go for? Because I think a lot of them, they're one, the concept is that the conception is that LinkedIn is a career place, right? So how can a brand leverage on the platform to engage, like just say one of you to do a content? What would the content look like for them? Even just an idea.
I love that topic. I really love it. That's a very good question. You want to go
first? You can go.
Okay. So I would say if it is Panasonic, now Panasonic deals in so many categories. First of all, of course, as an ambassador to the brand, I have said no to a lot of brands who have come to me, because when I culturally don't match to their views, I think I won't be able to do justice to my community. So because that's not my core business at the end of the day. So that's not my bread and butter. But if I relate, so I've done brand endorsements. I have done brand collaborations with the one I relate with. Like I did with a company who was into jobs. And during the pandemic, I personally have launched program which is valued 10 times more only because people were suffering from their jobs or career. So that was my cultural fit. But now let's say Panasonic comes in. Now those are large organizations. What happens with them is I'm a working adult, and a woman is also responsible to take care of home. Let's say that's an Asian mindset, a little bit more than the male side of it, but still it's the mindset. So I think one of the core things that my content strategy would be that how everyday morning, just using their food processor, I'm just giving a quick example, a food processor for 30 seconds. So I can do a simple video walking from my room to the kitchen, and while talking about marketing, I just use the product as the brand placement and quickly mention, oh my God, thank God I have that in my home and I can serve myself with this cool drink because I have to just jump on a call. And I would have almost missed it if I didn't have something so quick to help me out. I mean, that could be one of the brand placements that I can go with. Otherwise, when technology happens, let's say with Panasonic, if you have any technology related brands, then subtle placements are also there where you just, because we do Linkpreneur stories, right? And on Linkpreneur stories, we have got guests coming in, like you, both of you guys were there. So both of the humble friends of mine were there on Linkpreneur stories. Guys, if you don't know, please go check their videos. They shared some phenomenal things. And just for a quick one, Yuvan was the first lady to come on the show. So
thank you. Yeah, very honored. It was like, it was quite a fun one. And actually that session, Kush asked me really tough questions, you know. I feel like I'm being so nice to her now. It's like she really pushed me and I had to answer really vulnerable questions. I remember that session.
No, indeed. She was very candid. She really shared things from her real life. So if you want, go check out on YouTube. But indeed, I think there are subtle placements. Then there are direct also. Like the one which I did, there's some places which I've done direct. Like these are great guys. Go with them because I believe in them. And I've seen the conversions happening there. So all of this is possible on LinkedIn as well. It's just about how you stop thinking that it is way too out of your context. It's exactly like what YouTubers does. Maybe not Instagrammers, but what YouTubers does to a great extent.
Okay. What about you, Allan? What do you think?
For me, I actually saw a brand collaboration by Hewlett Packard. They did a collaboration with entrepreneurs, and some of them featured were like Brian Liu from T Life, I believe, and then
Mm-hmm.
a few other entrepreneurs. So yeah, they position the brand position the entrepreneurs as their influencers on LinkedIn, and I saw they also promoted them on Facebook as well. So that was interesting because there are still not many brand collaborations on LinkedIn. So it's really it's a it's very green. It's totally raw.
But so because it's so green as well, right? How do we charge? Like, how do brands know like who to reach out to for a LinkedIn kind of a influencer campaign, for example, right? And how do they charge? Do you? I mean, because these people like Brian Lu, like you mentioned, he doesn't need the money, right? It's
Yeah,
kind of more like whether he wants to or not, right?
yeah.
So how, because obviously then money is not the main thing, right? So how would you charge, like Allan, for example, for your profile?
I think for me, look at the angle, like which part of the industry is it relevant? Is it tech, IT, blockchain, for example? That's one. And then the other part, of course, the engagement. You want to look
Mm-hmm.
at the engagement. Yeah, you're right. There's no one having a proper rate card on LinkedIn per se. It's still very new.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just at the growing stage, early stages.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a real figure per se. So it really
Yeah.
depends on the value you bring and who you influence in your network and your sphere of influence. Like if you say, hey, tomorrow everyone buy this drink, then everyone like, oh yeah, I'm thirsty, I should buy that drink or food or beverage, for example.
Just so you guys know, one time I asked Allan to help me to promote one of my businesses. Next thing you know, it was first on his profile appeared first on my on Google search, above my website. So I'm like, wow, this guy's a real influencer. Okay, by the way, I'm telling you guys the truth. Okay, so Kush, what about you? What do you think? Like, how do influencers on LinkedIn charge? How can brands start engaging? Where do they look for?
So I mentioned we do marketing, right? We're a marketing
Mm-hmm.
company. So we have done LinkedIn influencer campaigns for our client.
Mm-hmm.
And the pricing strategy is very different for every different client.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I've personally have a lot of experience working with Instagram influencers, YouTube influencers, and LinkedIn influencers as well. Now, LinkedIn influencers, Instagram influencers, they want the mindset fit as well, but the money has been of criteria there. But in LinkedIn, that is not the criteria. The fact is, the criteria on LinkedIn is very difficult. It is, will the person's culture, will the person's vision and the goals match to the culture, vision, and goal of the company or not? Only then they will associate with the brand.
Okay.
That is one of the biggest criteria.
So there
When
is no such thing as I want to propose a LinkedIn influencers to my client and say like, I will find you 10 influencers on LinkedIn. It's not possible. It has to be, each one has a personalized kind of a thing. Is
yes,
that correct?
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Like
Oh,
Ran Oman Rani, now I don't know. I have seen him working very closely with HP.
okay.
Very closely with HP. Now, whether it's considered as a LinkedIn influencer or he's an influencer himself, like I wouldn't say, I mean, because he is an influencer himself. I also consider him outside of LinkedIn. So the fact is that on LinkedIn, there's no rate card, and there cannot be one as well. As an agency, we have felt that when there is the right fit, sometimes the influencers will so much love the brand that they'll say, oh, why not? Of course, I'll do it. Like Allan did it for you, let's just say,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes when we know we have to negotiate, then the negotiation doesn't happen on the money side of it, it happens on the value side of it.
Right.
What is the value that the individual is getting out of that brand for him or her?
Okay. Okay.
So
So yeah, go on.
so that's, let's say for example, if now Panasonic comes and associates, now because that's an organization which has his own branding, right? It has its own branding. Now the influencer, if there's a cultural fit, they might want to get associated with them, they may not as well, there's a chances, but it is about the value fit more than money fit. And the charges, so for us as an agency, we calculate more on engagements, which is the
Right.
engagement percentage. Like we do it for Instagrammers also. Like, it's not, of course, we have brackets of followers, right? And then we have
Mm-hmm.
the engagement percentage. But on LinkedIn, I personally do not go with the bracket of followers at all, because
Mm-hmm.
I know those numbers can hike up, and I have several other ways as well. What I really believe in, how is the audience responding to that person, and how much the audience connect with that person. So that comes to the engagement rate. And based on the engagement rate is where the decision happens, pricing and everything.
Okay, cool. We have a question from the audience at Facebook, Vic Lim specifically, for Allan. We have heard so much of positive impact to brands on influencer marketing on digital platforms via LinkedIn. For example, LinkedIn, not specific to LinkedIn only. What are the negative impacts that you're seeing to brands? I guess we can open to everyone. I'm just going to put it in the chat. So we've heard so much of positive impact on brands and influencing on digital platforms, a la LinkedIn. What are the negative impacts that you guys can think of to influencer marketing?
I think I can think of one straight away. You don't even have to be influencer, but if you're LinkedIn and you accidentally post something that is controversial or something inappropriate, you're gonna get blasted flame and even maybe get internal investigation by your own management. It happened recently a couple of days ago with a big car company. I won't say the name, but a guy posted something very very bad lah about people and rape cases, making a joke out of it. Some people, they get forwarded messages and they send on WhatsApp. Yeah. So that guy did it, and yeah, he got in trouble. It came out in the news, etc.
Wow.
So that's a negative impact on a brand per se, right? But that's why you need to educate your own employees. Do's and don'ts on social media, right? The internal comms, etc. So that's one of the examples I saw. Yeah.
Right, Kush, do you have anything to add to that?
No, 100%. I had the same example immediately up my mind. So people can go and Google it. There's a very huge viral story on the car company post going wrong, going viral for all the wrong reasons. I would say one of the things that can go heavily wrong is one of my contacts, I would say, not friend, he lost his job because of posting something on LinkedIn. And eventually he had to deactivate his account and he couldn't come back for at least 2 to 3 years back to the platform.
Wow. So was it the platform that banned him, or was it like he couldn't face it and then he didn't want to?
No. It wasn't the platform. So he couldn't come in the same unity, in the same industry anymore back because the name had just got ruined so bad, and only by one single post. And I'll not go in the details of it, but do not post about body shaming. Don't post about bitching about your bosses or your colleagues, and do not do all of these things, which you shouldn't do anywhere actually on the social media platforms. Just don't do that as well on the LinkedIn. You don't know who's watching, and that's not the place where you want to be unprofessional, let's just say.
Yeah, if I may, can I share a slide on the do's and don'ts? Yeah.
Of course,
Kush,
of course.
can
We'll
help me
need
with
the
the
host
host?
back.
Yeah. Thank you, Kush.
1 second. I will just make it all panelists so that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh, thank you.
All right, got it. So just share a quick one on the don'ts. Can everyone see the slide?
Yes.
Okay. So my personal experience or observation, sharing memes. This is not Facebook, so try to share most of your memes on Facebook. I mean, if you want to share your own content of, I don't know, like your over the weekend, your go-to distress, reading a book or gardening, whatever, sure, why not? But don't do it every other day, right? Because people are there to learn from each other, and how do you add value to your network? So like second one, don't share inappropriate jokes which may get in trouble, which we just talked about. Don't add context without any introduction message. People might not know who you are. Don't use curse language, bad words, just like what Kush mentioned. Don't talk bad about your colleagues, etc., or your vendors or clients. Don't treat it like a Tinder or Coffee Meets Bagel dating platform, because I've seen cases of people sharing their bad experience. Like the guy will say, "Hi dear, hi darling." I'm like, who does that, right? And people don't realize that. So just be careful. Somehow it's a blind spot for some people. Don't share random videos or images unrelated to your industry or interest per se, because you represent industry and a company, right? So don't treat it like your random Facebook kind of stuff. I've seen people do that. They get engagement really high, but it's unrelated, and you're not positioning yourself as a thought leader in your sphere of influence per se.
Mm-hmm.
And also the last one, don't recycle viral inspirational content without crediting the source. You've seen some high profile people doing it and they got called out for it. So yeah, I mean, you want to be like, um, you get viral, famous, etc. You want to be known as smart Alec, sure, but make sure you know how to give credit when credit is due. Yeah.
Okay.
And yep. And just a quick
Can
one.
you go to the do's now that you've done the don'ts? I kind of feel like
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. So dudes, like share earlier, add value to your network. Everyone has their own experience, so feel free to share your industry expertise and your own experience because that's personal to you, and nobody can copy and paste that, right? Post consistently, like what Kush mentioned, average about three times, maybe even 5 times a week. It can be either text, image-based, videos, or even you can see PDF, right? Because in LinkedIn, if you post like 5 or 6 photos, it will all be jumbled and messed up. And even if you number it 001 JPEG 002, it won't be aligned accordingly. It's all jumbled up. So some people put a PDF and it will appear like a separate image. You go click next, 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 next. The fourth one, share your experiences. Like I shared earlier, there's only one of you, no clones. There's only one Wen, one Kush, one Allan. Yeah, unique. Post your positive, feel-good experiences. People, you know, some are feeling downtime right now, work from home and all that. So it's good to share positive stuff. Like Kush mentioned earlier, you can even share your challenges in life and how you overcame it. You know, everyone has a different defensive mechanism on how to overcome their own challenges. And the last one, reply to comments on your post. Okay, this is something about linking that other platforms don't have. When you comment on someone's post, their network can see it, and then it appears on their newsfeed on the second degree and third degree network. So that's a lot of people and a ripple effect per se. Something which hardly other social media platforms does it. So yeah, just sharing.
Wow. So the tip here is to to comment on other people or to comment on your own?
You comment on your own as well. When people comment, you can reply to it. The algorithm, based on what I noticed, you need to do it not too late. Don't do like 3-5 days. Do it within a few hours. Then the
Right.
algorithm push your content, and then as well as replying on other people's content as well on your posts. People will know. Oh, okay. When Kush commented on my friend's post, who's that? They can click on your profile as well, and it will push up the algorithm to appear you appear on their newsfeed.
Oh, wow. Okay. So before we go to the last bit where I would love for you guys to share more about what you do, because, you know, I think you guys have shared a lot of value. So in return now, why don't we learn a little bit more about you guys? But before we do that, I can ask you all one question. How do you split your time? I mean, because I'm somebody who cares about what I post on my social media, which means that I want to read and I want to think about my post, and I will think about it a few days before I actually press the post button. So my question to you guys is, how much time do you spend on each of these social media platforms, you know, or what is your tip to be able to, you know, manage all your platforms at the same time and you know, be, you know, still have a balanced life, maybe, for example? Because it's hard, right? 3 to 5, and then you need to probably write articles, create some images, and then do some posts. And on top of that, you still have your Instagram, your other platforms to upkeep, and your actual job and your business. Like, how do you guys do that? Like, how much time do you spend, or like, is it a weekend thing, or weekday thing, or everyday thing?
I think for me personally, I set aside time usually like after work or lunchtime.
Okay.
Or weekend is more to like content planning because weekend a lot of working adults don't really use it unless they're looking for a job, for example. People want to tune off, etc. I think having a content calendar is important. I believe Kush class will be teaching stuff like that, as well as having a social media platform, online software like Hootsuite, for example. Yeah, so I just started using it because I couldn't tahan already. There's so many, right? Yeah, or Facebook, etc. So you know, I just want to like hack the system and schedule your posts. You know, so I don't imagine I got some ad hoc meeting. I'm like, oh, I forgot to post my LinkedIn content. There's no time to do all that, right? So I think scheduling posts is very useful with
Okay.
softwares like Hootsuite. Yeah.
Okay, so you use a Hootsuite, and then you
Yeah.
on the weekends you do the planning, on the weekday lunchtime or after work you do the posting.
Yeah, but now I just got Hootsuite, so I don't have to worry about manually posting.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay, can. How about you, Kush? How do you manage this?
Oh, yeah.
You're mute.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. I just saw. So Alan, I would like to add to Alan because that's exactly how you do it. Adding to that, what happens is the bigger challenge here is not how you take out time to post. The more bigger challenge is you want to post, but you don't know what to post.
Yes, I think so too.
Because see, let's say, for example, you're sitting at the night time, 8 o'clock. Now you think you're ready to relax. You have got 15, 20 minutes for yourself. Now you would start thinking, what to post? What to do? Now, that's a worse situation that you want to get into, because sometimes when you have something, you will proactively go done and post it. I mean, irrespective of the time. But if you want to be consistent, schedulers help, everything help. But one thing that I can, apart from what Alan said, you can do is, of course, we teach this in the session. So I'm just going to put it out here. What we do is we have a framework to it, and I'm going to explain that framework. How do you implement it? So first is, now something happened in this webinar, which I loved it as an experience, let's just say, or I learned something out of it, right? So after this, I have my notes, like, which is my phone notes, which is named as journaling. So I will just journal that thought with 5 words, just 5 words, nothing else, not anything in details. And whenever I have time, I will classify all those things because it will get accumulated. And it could be a stupidest of the stupidest things. Anything means as stupid as it may sound. So we have to stop judging ourselves and not think that this will be a possible LinkedIn post. Just think about that this is something that happened and you're writing it down. That's all, in 5 simple words. And then what I do is that those accumulated thought, I take it to my brainstorming framework, which is, I classify them under 4 categories, which is entrepreneurship, branding, marketing, and my business. Whichever category it falls in, I will write that in that category.
Okay.
And every category, I know there's a possible call to action, which is very important for my business. I know it is involving some kind of call to action. Call to action can be as simple as generating engagement. That is also an important task. You cannot just expect that people will come and buy your product. No, that's not how it happens. You have to get engagement and visibility as well on your profile. So the framework is, start journaling every single thing that you experience, and it is a moment of thought that you have it. Whenever you have time, go and classify it in your brainstorming sheet. And during the weekend or whenever in the day you have time, pick one, either schedule it. That's the best way to go. But that's the best way to go. But I will also be very candid. I also, between so much of work, I'm not 100% successful. I do teach it, but I'm not 100% successful in scheduling it as well. You do it, but then you have to keep doing it consistently, right? I mean, that's also something that you have to maintain.
Yeah.
So very good at, when I go back to that thought, I just relive that moment for 30 seconds and all my emotions are there ready, and I will write immediately and I'll post it.
You know what? This is so good. Like, okay, so now 1 is scheduled, 2 is to have a pool of ideas ready at any point in time, right? So like whatever that inspires you, you write it down. You know what I do is I have a WhatsApp group for myself.
Oh, I also, okay.
It's a WhatsApp group for me, and then I call it placeholder. Anytime I have a thought, I put into my WhatsApp group to myself. So what happened was, last time, what I used to do is I keep putting these thoughts into like random group chats, you know. And then after that, one day my friend's like, "Wen, I'm going to create a placeholder for you to put your thoughts in your own." So yeah, I have that one WhatsApp group for me called placeholder.
I also have it, you know, I literally have a WhatsApp group. So I call it Khush Life. And earlier what I used to do is, of course, I will send it to other groups where my close people are there, and I'll put it for reference. And then I also was notified by my partner, Khush, why don't you just create a group with yourself and put it there so that you can, it happened with me exactly the same thing. But then I realized there's another issue with that is so I'm posting other things also apart from my thoughts. Let's say even as simple as sometimes my grocery list is there. Now I would not kid, that's also there. And then my team call These three things I tell my team to do is also there in the same WhatsApp group.
That is true.
I started believing that it is not good for long term. For one day it's fine, but if it is accumulated for 20 days, then it turns out to be no use. So then I started doing 2 notes.
So now you do it, you organize that further. So like have more WhatsApp groups for yourself.
No, I came to notes for all the
came out of WhatsApp already.
Yes.
Okay, that's good tip. Now I'm going to find that notes. All right, so Ray has a question. Let's answer it live. Ray's question is, any recommendation for how to market consumer goods brand on LinkedIn? LinkedIn seems to be better suited for promoting professional services. What about consumer goods?
Can we get Ray to say what kind of consumer goods? Like what?
Yeah, exactly? Ray, why don't you tell us what consumer goods you would like to, what consumer goods specifically are you thinking of? Maybe you can put it in the chat. We can have a look. Baby diapers. Ooh, this one's tough. I mean,
yeah, I know already. Okay, I know already. You target those influencers that just gave birth, or just got a family. Yeah, because they treat it like a lifestyle, I suppose. Yeah, just off the cuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, baby diapers, if the target audience is women, very clearly, mostly women will take decision. The mother will take decision.
Right.
And in short, momopreneurs or women who are working professionals are the target audience.
Right.
So she just needs to go and search for momopreneurs as a keyword on mompreneurs.
Okay, mompreneurs.
Mompreneurs. Sorry, oh yeah, mompreneurs. Then they can search for keyword father. There are many fathers on LinkedIn who will write as a father on their headline. They are proud fathers actually. So that means they also play a role in household activities. Now what they need to do is probably get in touch with them. Say we have got these diapers, we want to give you for free. So give the diapers for free. Get for review. Just say, I want to review it. I want feedback from you. Would you like to? And just all I need is your address and I'll get it couriered to you. Get it couriered, get feedback, build relationship, and then get them to be your influencers and push out the product with the kids, a photograph with the kids.
Yeah.
And she talks about her story. And in one line, in the entire story, just one line that thanks for whatever the diaper brand is for making my life a little more easier because my kids is not cranky as much as they were cranky earlier.
Yeah.
Done.
So basically it's just, so he's saying that he does that on Instagram. So but what Kush here is saying is that you can do the same with LinkedIn and find mompreneurs and get them to do it for you also. So it's not just limited to Instagram, right? Because all they need to do is because they are mompreneurs anyway, right? So they'll talk about the women empowerment and they'll talk about work-life balance and they'll talk about all those kind of things. And along the way, also talk about motherhood, right? Okay, cool. I think that's a really good question, by the way. Thanks, Ray.
But just make sure, Ray, they are active users of LinkedIn. Do not go for the people who are just there on the platform and they've never posted, because then that will backfire for you, because if they have not posted, they will not post for you as well.
Okay, he asked, would they be willing to do it on LinkedIn though? He feels like LinkedIn preferred to keep the content strictly to their professional life.
Now that's a choice. That's what exactly I mentioned. Now you want to go to the person's profile and check what kind of content he or she is posting. Now, if he or she is just posting strictly about their work, then that's not your target audience. But if someone is documenting their life, sharing about their colleagues, their partners, their clients, their husband, their kids, then yes. I know, the founder of Jibble, Asim, he's one of the LinkedIn influencers. You must check his profile. Asim is, now his kids are not wearing diapers, so very quick heads up. So the kids are grown up already. So he has more than 2,000 engagements any day on any post. So he's very huge on LinkedIn in terms of engagement. So I calculate people huge on LinkedIn based on the engagement, honestly. So he talks about his kids more than anything else on his post. And the way he speaks, he doesn't brag about his kids. He's not trying to put out that this is how he takes care of his kids. He's saying how his kids from this to this with hard work, they did it. How homeschooling has changed the kid's life. So now he is a perfect match, not for him, but someone who who has to provide a product for kids side of it. But yes, people are far more choosy when it comes on LinkedIn to get them to be your influencers, because of the reason that they're not here for money. Their money comes from other reasons and other sources, absolutely. But if they start to believe in your product, they will not influence the people around them, but they will also influence the community they believe in, they sit with, they go around with. Their word of mouth play a very strong role.
Ray is asking you to spell his name for him because he would like to look him up. Okay, we're going to take one last question from the audience. There's one question from Facebook from Daryl Yaw. Daryl's question is, what's your take on this? Do you think influencers help to boost the brand's influence? I'm going to type it here. Do you think influencers help to boost brand's influence? I can let either of you answer, but this will be the last question, guys, because I want to give 5 minutes to our speaker to share about what they do, okay, before we end the session. And then please also share your LinkedIn URL. We'll post it up on our Facebook post as well, so that people can follow you and people can start to connect with you if they want to. Okay, so what do you think? Does influencers help to boost a brand's influence?
Maybe I'll just go first. Yeah, for me, yes and no. I mean, the brand needs to strategically choose the correct influencers. I mean, based on persona as well. Yeah, you can't just cast an ad wide open and expect everyone to follow. So, I mean, since last year, everyone talks about micro influencers, not just the big mega macro influencers. So yeah, I think brands need to be more careful with their spending and target those that are suitable based on the persona as well. Yeah.
Right. Kush?
Okay, so from my side, I personally so in my sessions, and one of the predictions that I have, and after coming, okay, for Link Runner Stories, we did episode 50, right? In episode 50, we had 13 different influencers come in and share, where we had Ravi.
Hello?
Sorry. Hi, guys, I'm back.
Yeah, we heard until Ravi.
Okay, so we had Ravi from AirAsia, we had Ronan from Apps Flyer, we had 6 different countries participating in that, and after that we also did some R&D. One of the biggest predictions in the marketing and sales industry, I would say, also you can associate branding, is to have user-generated content work for you rather than you directly posting your content, which means, let's just say, for example, if I would actually get someone to talk about what I do rather than I talk about myself, my product, my service, it will be far more better. So if someone who has taken my service and they talk is better. So now what is happening is, that's where the need of influencers are coming in, and they want to go with micro influencers. 100% with you, Allan. Macro influencers are one which is okay for your CNY programs and for your Christmas deals and all that. But on a very long-term basis, like ambassadors and like believers of your, they know that if you are hiring someone who's a huge influencer, they're getting paid to talk about your brand. It's a direct mindset which is getting calculated. But micro influencers, that's not the case. And if someone who talks with a lot of conviction, they becomes your user generated content. Who's influencer? Influencer is not someone who do, like me and you, if we will get up and we'll sit in the room and we'll start talking, will not become influencers. Influencers are by the people. They are for the people, by the people. They are the community that makes them the influencers. They are not influencers, actually. That's not how it is. So that means the brands must go for influencers in this year more than anything, because the more they get the people to talk to their community about their product, it will be the highest ROI to be received in the marketing space. Because we are working with ads as well. You're spending thousands of dollars in the ad. I know the ROI is not there. But if, let's just say, Allan posts a product which is in esports, I know the sales will be far more better. At least if not sales, the branding will happen and people will come to Allan and say, Helen, why are you promoting it? Is it really nice? A PS5, I want to play as well. I mean, I want to get it. So he is the word of mouth marketing, which has the highest conversion rate ever till date.
That's
I
great.
just want to add on a quick one. Like,
Yeah.
I was case study of it. I was looking for mattresses and Joey mattress keep appearing on my newsfeed and people shared about it, like micro influencers or even normal people. And they're like, hey, it must be something good about this mattress. I was looking high and low, window shopping. In the end, I bought it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how it happens. This is how the consumer journey is.
Because
You
it's the end of the purchase intent, right? They're targeting you right there. And all
and
it takes is just that recommendation.
I'll tell you, and one more thing, what happens is we know that we needed 7 touch points before the conversion. Now we need more than 12 touch points or 13 touch points because of the COVID, the noise has increased. So these touch points, when they become real people rather than brand ads, the conversion chances and the value of the conversion increases to a great extent.
Yeah, totally agree with Kush about UGC and not the brand just churning out, giving, now here's the poster, post it up.
Yeah, and actually to that point, I also feel like, brands should really try to please give the influencers and the creators the freedom to post.
Oh, yes, yes.
Not put them in these boxes where, you want it this way because it's your brand association, because when it's paid, we can tell. When it's UGC, when it's authentic, when it's, their voice, it's so much more organic and so much more nicer. I wish the brands can just, let go the reins a little bit and just, trust.
I have a flip side to it, I have a flip side to it as well. There's two way to this, like I will take Grab as a feedback. Initially, when Grab and Uber came in, only the people who were sitting in the, I'm falling short of word. I mean, the passenger, for the lack of a better word, only the passengers can review the drivers. The drivers couldn't review the passengers.
Yeah.
But that came in later. It's the economy is a shared economy. So both sides should be able to give feedback to both.
Yeah.
I would say even influencers should stop taking from the companies if they are not able to match and they're not able to commit to the community. Now, let's say, for example, when I come across an influencer and I know they're doing something for the sake of money, I don't want to go back to that influencer the second time. So they're losing on their community. And that's the whole reason why you mentioned that allow the influencers to be free. If the influencer starts being a little more like LinkedIn influencers, where the value plays a very strong role, because it's very difficult to get a LinkedIn influencers to say yes. There's a lot of back and forth that happens. It might be a lot more easier because brands will only try to press when they feel that they can do this. If they cannot, then they'll stop doing it.
Okay, so I think this should be, we are 15 minutes behind time already, but I want to give Allan and Kush one time to, 5 minutes each to just share about, what they're doing, what's their business about, and also, share your LinkedIn profile so that people can follow and get in touch with you. Why don't we start with Allan?
Okay, I'll just share a quick screen. Everyone can see.
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, I'm in esports sphere. So esports handles esports teams and talents across Southeast Asia. Raised a total of 16.4 million US dollars to date, and our views on TikTok is insane. We've
Wow.
done stuff with Lazada, talent search, etc. Lazada Live on inside their live activation as well, and we do stuff with Visa as well. Um, Special deals for Visa users and special engagement with Visa users and our fans. And yeah, just a quick overview of what I do in EVOS, the esports company. You can add me on LinkedIn, even Twitter, email, or even WeChat. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Kush?
Okay, so a very quick one from my side. Just 1 second.
Hey, where's Wen? Can't see you.
Oh no, my computer low bat, so I just moved. Yes, here I am. Hi, I'm back.
You're like a Pokemon.
Okay, Kush, why don't you share what
Yes.
you do at Beyond 99?
Yeah, why not? Just give me a second. And let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see the
Not
screen?
yet.
Okay, 1 second. Should be now.
Yes, we are starting to see it load.
Can see?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you can. But it's okay. Let me stop share.
Cannot.
1 second. How can I share? Okay. Tell me now.
Yes, yes. Now we
Fine.
can see your screen.
I
Okay.
always have to share twice to make sure that the share comes in. So, of course, Beyond 99 is a company that was formed with the entire idea of being able to help brands and businesses to tell their unique stories online. Being the founder, of course, we started this company in 2018 in Malaysia, but it has been in the industry for about 11 years. We have an international office based in the HQ being in Malaysia, followed by India and Canada. We've received 6 awards and we've delivered more than 600 projects by now for sure. The slides are a little old.
Wow.
Indeed. These are some of our local clients. I mean, I've just put the logos here because I wanted to make sure that the local ones are here. And we have been awarded Best Digital Marketing Campaign of the Year last year.
Wow.
Shortlisted as top 10 global tech innovators. Personally being an awardee of Asia's 100 most influential youth marketing awards, and then followed by 2 more mentions and recognitions. So we focus on personalized growth, which is helping brands and businesses in helping with personalized strategies. So we don't believe in packages and all. And it is so most of it that I could do was I would credit a lot to LinkedIn because I am an expat or a foreigner in Malaysia. I'm not born here, so I'm an Indian. Was born in a middle class Indian family with a lot of dreams and aspirations, and I started my first business in 2008. Expanded to Malaysia in 2014. Where I have been working with a lot of organizations, helping with the marketing and the branding strategy. Finally, I started the business Beyond 99 here with a different vision of storytelling. And of course, because I did not know many people in Malaysia, I always felt the need of how would I even get into that network, because I didn't know Chinese, I didn't know Malay. So that was another hindrance that I have. I still have it, trust me. Though I would say Malaysia is one of the most beautiful country I've ever been to, because it's very welcoming and it's super warm. I've never felt out of place, and that's probably the reason why I'm staying here for 6 years now. Trust me. And I've been
Thank you for loving Malaysia. We have severe brain drain and you added back to our drain. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it so much. And I indeed would credit that LinkedIn got me connected with so many Malaysians, and made me a part of Top Voices Malaysia, being twice ranked as 100 most influential Malaysian LinkedIn users. I mean, these are very different feelings for me because I am not born here, right? So I would credit this a lot to LinkedIn because I was able to get 50x on my followers, where 300% growth on the company side with hundreds of quality leads, all from LinkedIn. And the same is what I compiled on the program, which I shared earlier. So what we do apart from that, because a lot of people think I only do LinkedIn. I mean, that's something which is the impression out there. So we have businesses with establishing their online presence, with websites and social media, followed by empowering the growth team, which is where our academy comes in. So we train, consult, and coach in the sales and marketing and LinkedIn. Then we help them build brands and community with a lot of brand exposure through advertising. And finally, with some of our clients only, we don't do with all. This is a very integrate process where we work on the GTM, which is go-to-market strategy, where we hands-on be their on-demand CMOs and CSOs and design the entire strategy. So that's all. This was our topic for today. I did have some things to share, but I think it's so much of time already. I think it won't be fair for the people to, or you want me to share it? I mean, either way is okay.
For those of you who are, impressed for time, then I guess you guys can say goodbye. For those of you who want to stay, I think why don't we let Kush finish her slides? Allan, you can also leave.
No, I'll stay.
If you are busy, okay? Because
Okay.
the session was supposed to be 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
Why
All
don't we
good.
let Kush finish? And
Sure.
if you have time, you can stay also. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay. Go for it.
Okay, that's great to hear, Allan. So I've always felt this a little difficult, that LinkedIn has always been a very strong resume platform. Everywhere I go, they say this. So I would say today everybody is watching. If they can just nullify these misconceptions that LinkedIn is all professional, you can't connect with people you don't know. So trust me, this is one of the most biggest myth I have come across, and sales team, marketing team have it big time, that I can connect with my college friends and uni friends and all, but I will not connect with anybody else. That's not true. If you are on LinkedIn, your boss thinks you're looking for a job. Allan is a very good example there, guys. So please don't imagine that at all. Long gone are the time when the boss used to think like that. And even if they think for the first few weeks and you start promoting the business, your boss will actually start looking at you with a better eye. It's just the first few weeks that they might have this thought. And then you must have a paid account to have an account on LinkedIn. No, guys, most of the features which you wouldn't even know, and I am 100% sure about it, is in the free account. So these features which I've just mentioned, which Allan mentioned, and which I'm sure you have been seeing across, most of them are free, most of them. Unless you are I would say you are into sales prospecting and extensive lead generation, then you need to go paid. Once you create your profile, you don't have to be active. So it's not a resume website. So that's what you have to be active. You don't need to reply the comments on your post. I think Allan specified this on the other side, which is do's. He said that you have to comment on the post that you have posted, because we will see a lot of people, they make the post and they will not cater or respond to any comment which has come on their post. They will just let it be like that. They will not go and respond to people. This is a very, I'm not sure from where the mindset comes in. It's a very common mindset. So that's not true. We must acknowledge the person's time, either by saying a simple thank you or agreement, or even if you have the disagreement, you say, I beg to differ, something like that. So commenting is very important. So these are some top misconceptions. And when I mention misconceptions, I also must put across some facts. So 760 million users are there on LinkedIn at this point of time. This is in the entire world. The population is more than 7 billion. So don't compare with the population. Now, only 3 million users are actively sharing content on LinkedIn week by week. Less than 0.4%. So imagine the scope. Like if you are a content curator, you know, everybody on Instagram is a content curator. Everybody, almost. Or let's just say 80%. On LinkedIn, that 80 comes down to less than 1%. So if you start curating content, how many eyeballs can come to you? 41% millionaires uses LinkedIn.
So, this is where the luxury brands must go, you know?
Absolutely. So if
opportunity for Rolex.
I'm telling you, so I was, we are talking with brands and for Linked on a Story season 2. So I'm just sharing some Linked on a Story season 2, a brand was reaching out and we're still in talking terms, is how they can get me right hand gadgets for the series, for the episode. Because I use a lot of my hands, so it's automatically visible. And that's the brand collaboration. And they know I would be doing 12, 15, 20 episodes. And that's how the brands can win. And subtle all we need to do is we need to make sure that it is added in our content, and a subtle mention, credits for accessories goes to this. Then 90 million LinkedIn users are senior level influencers. 63 millions are decision-making positions. So, you know, you mentioned about the assumptions and all. So they're senior level influencers, which means they would have at least 7 years of career experience, 7 to 8 years of career experience. And then 92% of the B2B marketers uses LinkedIn. This is where the gap is for B2C marketers right now. Now, of course, this is my framework. Of course, you will learn about it in the Killing It of LinkedIn strategy, but I just
Guys,
for the
sign
ones
up for it on that Salt and Pepper website. Okay, it's in the chat. Okay, sign up for it. It's $21, like super sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's less than almost if you do a pizza party at your home, you will have to pay more than that.
Any online paid event will cost more than that.
Absolutely, any day, any day. And there is no, so guys, I'm not introducing there myself. There's no fluff and anything. There's serious content, and I've just put one slide from there and I've put one slide here. which is the entire framework of the journey, how people connect with you and you drive leads, which is your first and the biggest intention on LinkedIn is to get visible. Get your profile to come in the search results, then win their eyeballs among the search results. There are 10 people who are coming in the list. How do you be the one they click and they visit? And the third is when they visit, they gain the trust. And when they gain the trust, are they able to get the right call to action on your profile to convert? And this is what exactly we teach on the day 2 of the program. This entire framework of how do you make it possible. But if you're not attending, then let me tell you, this is your goal on the platform in a nutshell. You have to do this. And finally, this is something which I call my 3 C's of LinkedIn. Comment, connect, create in priority order. So if someone chooses to spend less time, then focus on commenting. If someone chooses to spend more, a little bit more, then connect and then create based on your time availability with the frequency right on the screen. So if you want to take screenshot, take it, no problem. But this is a great, okay, one quick, when I say 3 to 5 comments per day, doesn't mean you will go and comment on people's post. Hi, thank you, congratulations, awesome, insightful. No. Thoughtful comments which add value is what I'm recommending at. And everything here is thoughtfully should be done and not just connect with anybody and not just post anything. So that's my QR code. If you want, you can scan it. And that's my number and email address. I would love to connect with anybody who's watching and everybody who's watching.
Thank you so much to Allan and Khush. Oh my goodness, can't thank you guys enough. We asked for 1 hour, but we got 1.5 hours. Thank you so much, guys. If you haven't already put in your LinkedIn profiles in there, guys, if you ask me, I'll give it to you, okay, don't worry. But either way, if you guys are looking to connect with them, they are widely available influencers on LinkedIn, okay? So you will definitely find them. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Khush. Thank you, Allan, so much for your sharing session. I hope the brands that are here today and also the influencers on Facebook are happy with and they found this to be helpful for them. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for taking out the time. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks, Khush.
It was a wonderful session. Enjoyed it. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.